Is there a property crash coming? My God, here it is, July 2017. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. You read in the papers, Australian property market's going to crash, blah, 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 blah. I agree with what John Regar said. You know, they've been talking about this property crash for 30 years. Folks, it's BS. The property crash is not coming. They said that 2 years ago, that Sydney was overpriced, it was going to crash. I said, wrong. You haven't even seen the property boom yet. There's a property boom coming you never even seen. And we've seen what's happened in the last 2 years. And now they're saying there's going to be a crash coming, but no, the stats simply do not back it up. The Sydney property market is not going to crash, and nor is most places in Australia. So don't be caught up in those so-called experts who are trying to convince you of that. Now, I have nothing to gain whether you think, you know, whether you invest in property or not. It's up to you what you do. But I'm just telling you from experience that you want to look at the fundamentals. And here's some fundamentals I'll share with you why I believe the property market in Australia is not going to crash. For starters, we still have a rising population. Even though the migration levels have slowed, we still have a housing shortage, even though the massive boom in construction in recent years has built more properties than we have ever in the past. But that is not enough. There'll soon be a significant shortfall again in a few years, because why? The construction boom's coming to an end. The banks have squeezed, tightened developers. They can't now get loans, etc., to produce more property. So they are controlling that. So it didn't take off too much where there could be a property crash. So that's a good thing. So by 2018, there's going to be a significant shortage on housing. Sydney, you know, I'm suggesting Sydney and Melbourne will continue to grow. I think you can get 4, 5, 6, probably 7% growth. That is still very good. You know, so yes, it's slowing down, but that is still great growth. Melbourne's always a very consistent city to invest in for property, and Sydney is going to be even stronger. Admittedly, it's very expensive to get into, so that's my view on Sydney market. You're going to see a shortfall in property, still not enough being built. As many as 50,000 houses shortfall you're going to see in Sydney. So you're going to see one thing happen in Sydney, that is prices are going to continue to rise, albeit at a slower rate than in recent years, but still very good. What about other cities, Jamie? Perth continues to be a difficult place in for a few more hard years. Adelaide, I'm not too excited about, unless you're in very good suburbs. Brisbane will grow fairly strongly. Another city to look out for. However, avoid inner city apartments there. There is an oversupply, and there's a bit of pain being felt now and in the future. Jamie, where is the hottest property market in Australia, in your humble opinion? Well, you know, a lot of people debate this. I picked the bottom of the property market in the Gold Coast just under 2 years ago, almost to the month. Simply because I understand fundamentals, and I'm telling you now, the #1 property market in Australia right now, if you want capital growth and a great buying opportunity, it certainly is the Gold Coast. My God, I should open a real estate company, you know, helping people, you know, benefit so much. But that's the reality. You know, a lot of people going, oh, the Gold Coast after the Commonwealth Games in 9 months, it's going to crash. BS, it's not going to. I can tell you this. Why am I so bullish on the Gold Coast? There is 1.2 million Chinese tourists coming to Australia right now. By 2022, there'll be over 4 million. Nearly all of them come to the Gold Coast. Can you understand that? The amount of Chinese tourists that are coming here, what that's going to do, they want to buy property, they want to, more hotels need to be built. Gold Coast is humming along quite nicely now, but there's still not an oversupply of apartments like there was back in the credit crash in 2008. So I'm bullish for the next 4 years. But this swell of middle-class Australians, this tourism boom, is going to go for at least 20 years. So you're going to understand that the Gold Coast is becoming a global city. It's undervalued, underrated. I'm very bullish on it. That's one of the reasons I live here. I mean, I've lived in New York, LA, Melbourne, Sydney, and other parts of the world, and I choose Gold Coast to be my home because I'm very bullish about its future, okay? So that's my view. That's my property wrap. Fundamentals suggest that Australian property prices are not going to crash. Investors certainly will be paying more for interest rates because they've jacked them up, but that won't stop some investors. The Chinese are still going to be coming here and buying. I'm dealing with Chinese for overseas. There's so much. China has so much money, so do not underestimate that. So long term, you can still make money out of real estate. Talk to you soon.